So would you criminalise any asylum seeker who tries to make it over by boat?
Yeah, unbelievably, yeah. We did it. It was like that before that refugee convention. And if you know anything about the refugee convention, it was made because people wouldn't accept certain kinds of refugees in the past. But now everyone's got to accept them and they've got to be processed. It's all in the 1951 refugee convention. But if we exited that, it'd be a criminal offence and they'd soon stop coming over on boats. And anyway, it's not that immigration. I'm worried about legal immigration, me. Legal, we've had, past few years, we've had hundreds of thousands of people coming into the country and a lot of them aren't integrating. It's causing big divides within communities and they're putting, considering what's happened with the Epping Hotel, they're putting now asylum seekers and refugees of priority over British citizens. And that shouldn't happen, so.
Going back to the ECHR, some people on the other side say if we leave the ECHR, we'll lose other fundamental rights like the right to protest. How would you reply to that?
Well, I haven't mentioned the ECHR. I have mentioned 1951 refugee, but not the ECHR. I do have issues with the ECHR, but that's up to our politicians to iron these issues out with the European Parliament and stuff like that. Because recently, a guy was not sent home because he had a beard because he'd been discriminated against. And that's like weak. That's a weak thing. And it wouldn't happen in other countries. That guy would be kicked out. So obviously, we need to look at it. But I would leave it anyway, mate. I'd leave anything that's European-based on them kind of things. But the ECHR isn't the big issue. It's the 1951 Refugee Convention.
Boris Johnson was once offered by France for France to build a processing centre within France so that people weren't as incentivised to take a boat. How would you feel about opening a processing centre there?
Well, I don't want to. I don't want to process. We're not in permanent settlement. We don't want no more refugees or asylum seekers. In an ideal world, they won't be coming here. And so we won't need any kind of processing centre. You know what I mean? And it's a big thing. It might sound a bit negative, but I think it's a fair thing. All the rest of the countries are allowed to have control their borders. In the Gulf states, they're allowed to control their borders. They don't let people in and stuff like that. So why do we have to do it?